Rice is considered the second most important grain food in Ghana, next to maize. It accounts for 58% of the country's cereal imports, with its consumption in 2017 and 2018 estimated at 1 million megatons. The government expects that the annual per capita consumption will reach 40 kilograms this year. Dependency on foreign rice is a phenomenon that is a source of worry for many in Ghana. This phenomenon started increasing steadily in the 1980s, but now accounts for more than 70% of local consumption. According to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Ghana spends almost over $1 billion on rice importation annually since 2015. For many years, rice farmers in the Bosa South district of the Upper East region and other parts of the country have lamented the lack of ready market for their produce. Despite assurances from the Ghana buffer stock, some have been forced to keep their produce for many months without buyers, a situation that is worsened by inadequate warehouses.
Going forward, next year by this time, we shouldn't be standing and talking about this again. We know the government can do it, and we know the president is able, and we know he will do. So if next year by this time it is not done, then we don't have a president.
So we think if government comes in to reduce the importation of rice and allowed us to also produce and then process within the country, I think this problem will be surely solved.
The harvesters are not there. If government can come in, try to provide platforms where the rice will be dry and permanent storage places, and then provide us with harvesters. Then they will now link up with the buffer, as he said.
Before December last year, a campaign started by Citi FM and Citi TV for the consumption of local rice received widespread support, leading to an increase in demand for local rice during the festive season. Government also responded by getting the Ghana Buffer Stock Company to buy some of the rice, while discussions have been ongoing to get banks to provide credit to players in the local rice value chain to expand and meet local demand. Government further promised to end rice importation by 2022. With this intervention by the Ghana Commodity Exchange, rice farmers and millers can be sure of ready market with competitive prices once they meet the expected quality standard. Dr. Kadri Alpha is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Commodity Exchange.
We've just had an approval from our regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission. They're giving us the go-ahead to trade rice. So that is a huge. That is to the exchange, and I think to the general Ghanaian public and the farmers as well. I think this is good news for us. So you would see that we will be listing rice contracts on the exchange and trading them, in the months coming.
Dr. Alpha believes local rice farmers have the capacity to produce enough to meet the country's demand.
And to be honest with you, we haven't actually done a lot in rice. We are importing a lot of rice, but we don't need to import rice. We should actually be exporting rice because we have the climate, we have the resources. I mean, there's been a lot of support also from the government through the Planning for Food and Job initiatives. Farmers, rice farmers have been supported. I think the exchange has also been set up to ensure that we are able to provide market linkages and get the farmers to get better markets.
The exchange, as part of preparations for its new addition, has secured warehouses to store enough rice in the next few months.
Usually, we would bring in new products at the harvest season. Yeah, so we are targeting maybe in a couple of months' time. I think yes, in a couple of months' time, or maybe in the next quarter, trying to do the next quarter or so. We've actually even started, because usually when we are bringing in new products, we start with the feasibility studies. We look at the buyers and sellers and some of the dynamics, price trends, and then we just make sure that the market understands what we're doing. We also consult with the industry. We've actually got 2 warehouses that we want to commit to the trading of rice, and we're looking for more warehouses. We have a warehouse in partnership with Joabin food market. We also have a warehouse in Bolgatanga where we're working with institutions. One of them is Sokodevi, which is an NGO who actually supports women to be able to produce parboiled rice and trade it.
Meanwhile, due to the coronavirus pandemic, Dr. Alpha says its buyers within the off-taking chain have reduced. Already, the exchange says the amount of produce it receives for the 5 listed items is now less, also due to the pandemic.
We've also suffered from the off-taker side as well, because those who were buying from us were mainly processors of food. They were businesses that were processing. They buy raw material from us and process. Most of them have actually scaled down their operations, or some of them have actually shut down completely. So that's the reason why the off-taking side or the buying side has gone down. So we've seen some sign of improvements, coming in, and some of them are beginning to come to and buy from the exchange.
For Citi Business News, my name is Mina W.